It's time. Lock, load, put on your Infinity Gauntlet and grab your lightsaber. This is Nerd Talk. Presented by Weebeam TV.
Well, hello there.
Hello, hello.
How you doing?
Welcome. I forgot how bright this
Who
is.
These are pretty dang bright.
So
right?
John got a little younger and a little more chunkier.
What?
Happier.
What?
Happier.
Yes. Robust.
Robust.
That's a lie, but regardless of the fact.
He's no.
He eats better now. Let's rephrase that.
Of course, it's my cooking.
And he's
Of course it's
shaved.
even better.
Got rid of that white thing and dyed it.
That's a lot of work you're putting on
Let's
him.
say that's way too much, man. This is Tom Savini. Yeah,
God, he's a jerk.
guy,
Let's not talk
yeah.
about him.
Something along those lines.
Well, you know, it was Halloween just 2 days ago.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, so we survived. Did you get any good candy down there?
I eat plenty of cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah, not for me.
What's your favorite?
Hard to pick.
Hard to
Okay,
pick.
so I posted
What's
this
your
on Facebook. What's better, left Twix or right Twix?
Oh, really? that was not funny 5 years ago
when they made the joke initially, they're like,
It
we
was
share.
that's cute. That's funny.
It's like the only thing we share is a factory.
Because
a
I
package,
can't
and a
eat a
driveway.
lot of
It's like, shut
snacks
up.
now. I enjoyed my gummies that I got trick-or-treating.
Gummies are always good. Gummies are a good choice.
You mean the one that
Gummies
you
are-
took from the kid?
Yes. So yeah, we trick-or-treated with Roman, and it was called the parent tax. The kid gets nothing, and we get all of the candy.
Well, that's what you get for those
Good.
first couple
so
years.
I'm really glad. I'm really glad you brought that up and you admitted to it. So, how easy was it stealing candy from a baby?
It was very damn easy.
What did
All
you
right,
think
Thank you.
of the
That
Mace
will be it.
Stringer
That was
house?
it.
So
That was
yeah,
the word.
What did you think of Ghost Fest?
let's talk about that first.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. So Saturday, the 30th, was up in Brooksville at the May Stringer House, one of the most haunted locations in Florida. And they heard that you liked haunted houses, so they put a haunted house in their haunted house,
That's awesome.
which was pretty crazy. They took the whole first floor and made it a pass-through haunted attraction. So you walk through the parlor, the entryway, the living or the kitchen. I would say the living room, but it was the dead room.
See, we didn't
and
get
then-
to stay that long for
And
that.
then you go back through the military room, and then through the dentist's office, and then out into the pass-through maze, which was a nice old school pallet maze. And they kicked butt. It was an amazing haunted attraction. I was
So we
very
got
happy.
there around 12ish, I think, and checked out the vendors. Pika Bellichu was there selling her Pokemon stuff. You had your booth. There was
Mm-hmm. a lot of books.
Skunk Rescue of Florida was out there
Yes.
showing their skunks off that they adopted and teaching people more about skunks. So if you want to rescue a pet skunk, you can. And they're domesticated. They're not wild skunks.
And
So,
they're ones
they were
people
so
have taken as
cute.
pets
Yeah.
before and
Yeah.
have realized skunks are a little more tough to take care of than you plan.
Or she explained one
They're
of them
not a
was...
puppy.
Yeah, no.
One person had to move it, and where they were moving, they weren't allowed to have the skunk, so they
No.
give
They're
them up.
descented, so
Yeah.
they don't
I
do their
couldn't
thing. But
match.
they're definitely
But you do have to have a special permit. It's a Class 2 permit, and it's free, actually, to get.
Yep.
Takes about 6 to 8 weeks to obtain that. But there were some other cool little vendors, some food.
Okay,
Oh,
I
it
have
was
to ask,
fun.
though. You know all this about skunks. Did you adopt one?
So,
No, he lives with
not
me.
yet.
He's not allowed to have one.
One day.
Oh,
one
okay.
day he wants one now.
One day.
They are adorable and they were very cute. There was one named Rascal
Had a
that
little
wore
hat
little
on.
hats, and it was just so cute. It was very very cute. And then they had, but the big one was Sherman.
Sherman Tank. He was 18 pounds.
Yep.
He was a big boy. He was very new. They just got him, so he wasn't out to go play with other people. So
Oh, I
they
know you
kept him-
turned. I saw you turned.
They
Thank
kept
you.
him in a
I appreciate
crate.
the turn. Thank
But
you.
we
man.
got
I
to
thought
old
it was a little
Sherman,
too hot
and he was
here
fun.
anyway.
The highlight of those Saturday was going like a block up the road for some hot dogs.
Oh,
at
you went to Coney Island, yeah.
See, I was just about to say, I'm just like, yo, I've seen horror movies before. It's how horror movies start. Let's put a haunted house in a haunted house. Like,
Yep. It was a brilliant idea, and they made a lot of money for the for the Mace Stringer house. So, hey, couldn't go to a better cause. It's a great place. We love going up there to visit.
And when you're there, go to Coney Island.
And
hot
now
dogs.
Brooksville Pitt has been investigating there the last few nights because they know they stirred stuff up. So
Oh, yeah, probably.
If you go to their website, Jesse,
The
who
ghosts
was
there
always
are probably
nice
pissed off.
to us, let us film there for Parageeks and is letting us film there for a couple other things. So did some eerie travel stuff with him. So definitely check out their website. They're doing live static cams from the house.
I know what earlier in the year, or was it last year when they did a live cam? Nobody saw it at first till they kept rewatching the video and they saw something up
Yeah.
in Mr. Nasty's room.
Yeah. There's a lot. There's quite a few. They've gotten some good stuff in the attic, and they just let those run. So you might be the one to spot the strange and unusual. So
And how many ghosts do we have in there?
at least 6 that they've documented. So there may be more.
So did you bring a meter with you at all so that you could?
I
pay
was
attention to
outside
what was
selling
going-
books, so and I just went through the haunted house, so I didn't care. This wasn't a research trip. This was
No,
just for
but I
fun.
mean, I don't know. I could just picture you having your meter ready just to pick
The
up.
problem,
any kind
I
of
don't think they
activity.
would have came out because how many people were there.
It's definitely
It was
an odd
high
situation,
traffic.
So definitely an odd situation, but because I don't know if you would have gotten much because the crowds were so big. Especially you left early.
Yeah.
By around 5 o'clock when it started getting dark, the crowds swarm the place and the line starts.
Which I
they
can
had
imagine
a wedding.
parking. They had a
there.
wedding.
They had a wedding there. It was a spooky wedding with Beetlejuice and Lydia as the
The bride and groom.
not the bride and groom, but the officiators. So they had
That's
dual
cool.
officiators. And then the bride and groom were done Dios de la Muerte style. And there were a lot of people in 30s garb. So it was kind of, one family was all 30s and one was Dios de la Muerte, which was a perfect little combo.
See, I know when we got there, parking was crazy, so I could imagine
Yeah.
how bad it got.
It got
time.
crazier. Yeah, it was pretty exciting. So
It was a cool event.
the sheriff came out and he was just like, eh.
Hopefully next year we'll get bigger and do it again.
Yeah, it's a great event. I will not miss it ever. So definitely worth your time.
Plus, you can always buy Mark's books there.
Yeah, I'll be there.
place.
I'll be there every year. I promise. So, but we've got nerd news,
We do.
right?
Yeah.
We should probably talk about some of this
Where
stuff.
should we start, though? Because
Anything that's not labeled.
let's start
John,
with
we'll
number
jump in.
4 then, actually.
Okay.
Alright,
Since
okay.
I know actually, no, number 3.
Number 3. All right.
That's something Dylan, I know, would
Alright, Dylan.
to talk about that
yeah.
right there. I'm excited for it. I know Dylan's
pumped.
super
Oh,
excited.
I'm pumped.
Yeah, this was pretty exciting news today. This is what came out yesterday.
Yeah,
Yes.
it came out last night at like 9 o'clock. I remember sitting there scrolling through my phone. I was like, what? Going running upstairs and watching everyone in the news. And my dad's like, what are you talking about? And I'm just like, it's just in the news.
It's official.
It's like, whoa. And I'm like, they're officially releasing Boondock Saints 3.
Yeah. So how many?
Well, it's been
of you are
greenlit.
fans?
Now we
It's
got
gonna be
work.
Now I got to film it.
It's going to be just as bad, if not worse, than the second one.
Hey, the second one is a guilty pleasure. The
It
first
is.
one is one of the
First
great
one's
cinematic
Fantastic.
treasures.
It was
is
really, really well done.
very, very unusual. So much fun.
Yeah, they took an idea that was very, very simple. They took the idea of the I can't think vigilante ideal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they overhauled it. They went all out. They showed that they're not necessarily great people, but they're not necessarily bad people. But they're not bad enough to call them an anti-hero. They sure as hell aren't heroes by no means, but they get the job done.
So it's Norman Reedus and Sean Patrick Flannery. And who was in the original? Was it Billy Connolly?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's passed away, so couldn't bring him back. Well, or could
There
they?
wasn't William Devane
This
in that too.
was-
I believe so, yeah, in the original. So, but
So I got to meet Norman Reedus when that movie first came out. He was at Spooky, and he was charging. Both of them, I think, were charging like $20
that
a
was
piece.
before Walking
Before
Dead.
Walking Dead.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah,
going
no.
to say it now. He's overrated. He's not that good of an actor.
oh, he was fun.
Listen,
He's
He
a
was
funny
good
dude.
in that, but what else has he done minus before that one? Between Boondock Saints and that cash cow of a TV show, what has he done that's been good?
There was a Masters of Horror episode that John Carpenter did.
Only you would know that.
Called Cigarette Burns.
Okay.
And in that, he was a guy tracking down a very rare film. And it was basically their take on Yellow Sign and the King
Before
of
you
Yellow.
say it, Dylan, I'm going to do trivia. What was his movie he did before Boondock Saints when he was extremely young? And it'll be a hint. It's comic book related.
He was a kid for this one. Well, not really a kid. He was like
Does anybody know? Besides Dylan,
No, you got me.
Blade.
Oh, that's right. He was in Blade.
He was the little shit you sold.
I forgot about that until Dylan mentioned it earlier.
I thought that was Blade 2.
Was it
Maybe
Blade 2?
It was
Doesn't matter.
Blade 2.
He
Thank you
came-
very
One.
much.
He
Jeez.
came out
All right.
pants sagging. It was hilarious to watch. Some singers like, wow.
That was Blade 2.
That is
and-
night and day from what we expect from
Jeez.
him.
I thought you were trying to think of something earlier than that, so because he
That's
was in a
still
couple things
early.
earlier than that.
I don't know
Of
anything
course,
else he
yeah,
did
but-
besides that.
Yeah.
Nothing really memorable.
Blade 2, yeah, no, that's a classic movie.
He
But
All the
anyway,
Blade
but
movies are
definitely
great.
Cigarette Burns, if you can look that up, Masters of Horror series from, I think, Showtime back in the day. But you can find it on a lot of streaming platforms. Definitely worth your time. Very good movie.
I
So-
can't recommend Blade 2 or Blade 1 for that
I
matter.
can totally
Blade 1
recommend
was
both those
great.
movies.
They're
Aren't they
fine.
redoing the
We just
series?
don't discuss
They're-
what
yeah,
is
they're
it,
making
Blade
it anyway.
3?
Blade
We
3,
don't really
I
discuss
even like
that.
Blade 3. A lot of people don't, but I do.
It wasn't
Keeps-
bad.
Norman just keeps jumping from cult followings to cult followings to
Yeah.
cult followings. I'm like, hey man,
Okay,
you just gotta
so
pick something mainstream.
by
Oh, good.
Blade 3, Ryan Reynolds jumps from one comic book
Yeah.
movie to another.
Yep. So that's why I like Blade 3. You got Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool in it. So before he was Deadpool, even though he was playing the same character.
Yeah.
Even though he was playing Deadpool.
But anyway, wow, we've just gone down a rabbit hole into Blade 3.
So who loves
from Boondock Saints 3?
who loves
so.
Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, this is a pretty cool deal. Got to admit that.
Tell us about it.
Well, for anybody who's a Lord of the Rings and Hobbit fan, you have the DVD, or not DVD, Blu-ray, digital copy. There's a
4K.
player pack. There's a laundry list of things. I
Look
can't
at that
remember
thing.
all that you're seeing on the screen right now. And I mean, for under $250 before the holidays, you know that's going to sell out to fans.
And that is, those are the extended editions. And they do have all the
Behind the
behind the
scenes
scenes
footage.
stuff, which is what wasn't on the last
Yeah.
collection. Which a lot of filmmakers, like modern filmmakers, bought those original extended edition DVDs because that was like a master class in
Yeah.
filmmaking because they documented so much of the whole Lord of the Rings series. So, they're a very popular DVD set. So this, I can only assume, is just going to start a new whole, another generation of filmmakers here watching this stuff. It's incredible. And
You
I mean,
mean
they're-
learning not to make a walking simulator?
Yes.
For 6.5
for 6.5 hours. Yeah. Well,
I'm still a Lord of the Rings fan. I understand people's complaints though.
oh no,
There's
100%.
there's a lot of walking.
No, 100%. I understand completely why it's like, all right, there are issues. The Kevin Smith Clerks 2 arguments are valid.
The only trilogy is the original Star Wars.
You used to be able to do that walk. There were
Yeah.
guides that would do the walk. They're
Do the
no
tour.
longer allowed to do it because you have to cut through so much private property,
Yeah.
and the owners were so tired of people camping on their land. They're like, no,
Yeah.
we're done. It's also illegal to climb the mountain because it's an active volcano.
Yep.
And it, as of like 4 or 5 years ago, started rumbling again.
Yep.
So they're like, you know what? It's just best to leave you guys off of that.
And there was there was some of the early Hercules and Xena episodes filmed in some of the same locations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were also talking
It was
about
New Zealand. They
It was
did a
New
lot.
Zealand, Yeah,
they did
that
a
was
lot
what
out
started
there.
it all. That's what built the industry. And then Peter Jackson was like, "Ooh, here we're going to take all your Herc Xena people," and which is why they could never revive Herc Xena back there because they were running out of talent.
Yeah.
The mountains and everything there. There was something else there that they've still got the Shire.
Yeah,
so
you still can go
the
there.
Shire, so.
Yeah, you can go and have a lunch or dinner at the Dragonfly Inn there and
Yep.
eat like a hobbit.
Yep.
They put on quite a spread.
I've heard good things. Have you been?
No, I was supposed to go in 2020.
Oh, of course. And then the
So-
world.
Yeah.
It's like, did I go to New Zealand? No, I didn't go to New Zealand. I would have liked to go to New Zealand. Did not go to New Zealand. Funny,
What?
geographically, they actually, if you look at it, they took the long way to the mountain.
Yes.
Yeah.
From the Shire, like you look at the map of Middle Earth and you realize, okay, it looks like it was in order, but according to New Zealand's map, they actually went way out of their way to rivers and then went down. And it's like you guys just went the long way.
They just followed the path, the yellow brick road.
Well,
To
Exactly.
the map they had made, the map
was
was
a
correct. It was
big-
it was this to this to this
Yeah.
to this.
Massive-
In this, New Zealand shaped kind of like a banana.
Yeah, they had to
Yeah.
redo
So they
it.
went up and then around, and then in. And I'm just like,
Well, it's the same thing with Jurassic Park. They filmed that in Hawaii, and if you go to the park where they still have like leftover sets, and you go to a couple of the other places, what's fun about that is you realize, okay, the island Ilha Nublar is this, but then when you go to Hawaii and you do the tour, it's like over here, then over here, then over here, then over here. It takes 3 hours.
It takes
you
them a
realize
while.
it took 5 minutes in the movie.
Game of Thrones, same thing.
yeah, they
Up in
shot in
Northern
different
Ireland,
locations.
especially.
Yeah.
I love that. Because I think it's to the to just the regular watcher at home, they don't see all that stuff behind the scenes and orchestrating. Cage made a student film, and we had to turn someone's backyard into this like really long
Oh,
journey.
yeah.
So different
Yes,
camera
yeah.
angles and whatnot to make it look like we were in different areas of. When in reality, we were just turning the camera and facing a different part of forest
yeah.
or lake or something.
But just turning it made a huge difference.
Yeah, when
thinking
in
you were
reality, now it looked
someone
like we've
else.
been walking for hours on end. Or it was like, the sun had changed throughout the day, so filming different walking shots at certain points. So by the time we finally get to our final fight scene, it was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The sun had gone down just enough. It looked perfect and it came out really, really well. At least I like my part of it.
Movie magic.
I can't say
the
much
whole
more.
fantasy of it.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people wouldn't know. It's like, this film was in a backyard. It's like, I filmed this in a backyard and a half.
Back in the day, Rob and I worked on Super Force and Superboy, and I remember Smallville football stadium was Dr. Phillips High School, right
Yeah.
behind Universal Studios, and everything was Dr. Phillips High School. That was the theater. That was anything we needed was always Dr. Phillips because they wanted to film. They needed.
And
to,
that was right across the street
and
from
it
the...
literally was right across the
Yeah.
street from the studio. So it was, and there was nothing else there then. Now there's 100 hotels. And,
Yeah.
it's completely different. So, fun stuff.
All right, I think we should move down to the next item on the list.
What's the next item?
And
on the list?
actually, I'm going to skip the next item on the list and let them talk about that. We're going to skip to that one right there.
Which one? Number 6?
Number 6.
But it's a
Well,
trailer.
number 6.
It is, I know. So, hey, Rob,
Save
can
the trailers
Okay.
for the end
Well, we're going to use the trailers right now. We're going to use one trailer right now, actually.
because you need to talk about it.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
then let's do
hey,
that.
Rob, can we go ahead and run the Lock and Key trailer? Thank you. Dad, come swap.
Yep. He's
That's why I
dying.
figured you were doing it.
Yeah.
This world has so much potential. To be reborn and consumed. To be ruled. It's time to finish what I started. You ready?
Yeah.
So, Dylan, wait.
Wait.
What happened?
Movie magic.
That trailer was so long.
Movie magic. How about that? Oh
He
my.
aged really
Sorry
quick.
I'm late.
It's all good.
I came in from Orlando.
And boy, are your arms tired.
And I ran all the way here.
Flintstone it?
I think I'm going to have to fix our camera. though.
Run, John, run.
Yeah, well, we're building a new studio over there, so
Oh,
it's
man, yeah.
it's a lot of work. So actually, I have to go back and stay the whole weekend.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I'm going to live in the mall parking lot for
Ah,
3 days in the RV. I think is what I'm going to do.
be at Universal Sunday or Saturday
Maybe I'll
because
take
we're
a break
doing
and just come over and see.
Are
it.
your
Yeah.
books still there?
no, the shop that ran ours that had our stuff got turned into the seasonal shop.
Uh-huh.
Yes,
So,
because and then right now it's full of Halloween.
Halloween,
crap.
and actually it's full of Christmas. They've already
No,
changed it.
yeah.
They
Have
changed
already
it
cha-
overnight.
Come on, don't
So,
you know?
which is funny,
November
s-
1st is Christmas
Sunday,
Eve?
we went to Target real quick to grab the last minute Halloween basket, and all the Halloween stuff was put away, and Christmas is all out.
You know, my favorite day is November 1st.
Yeah, because you get all,
All the
Halloween
candy.
All the candy.
discount. Yeah.
So, because the reason we showed that, this is, I know I'm bad, and I'm going to get yelled at when I get home for saying this on air, but it's the truth. So, Lock and Key,
Yeah.
season 2. Have you?
I have not seen it yet.
I've watched the first 2 episodes of the
Okay.
new season.
So I am episode 5,
Okay, wow.
and
you're
I
first.
watched the last 2 on the way here.
Ah, nice.
Because I like it.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, it's-
and it's actually it's really good. I think I like it because of the they did a good job just keeping it going.
Okay, so I have a question because
Right.
I haven't watched it. What is it about?
You haven't watched Lock and Key at all?
No, I have
At
not.
all? Have you,
Oh,
have you seen
you never
Lock
read
I
the
and
have
comics?
not.
Yes,
Yes.
first season.
Never read the comics?
No, I didn't read that comic.
What? Mr.
man.
Comic Book
Mr. Comics didn't know?
101?
This is Joe Hill.
Yeah,
I know-
hopefully
yes,
that guy
I-
can beat us somehow.
Yeah, I know who it is, but yeah, I
And,
never got the comic.
It was an amazing comic series, and they have translated it fairly faithfully
Yeah.
to the show.
Okay, so I have never read the books. Right? I've never read anything other than the fact all I know is last season someone said, "Oh, this is really going to be good, and if you liked Harry Potter and you like this and blah blah blah, you're really going to like this." I said, and you know what? Our rule is
You watch
if
at least
you
3
start
episodes.
one thing, yeah, if you start it, you have to watch 3 episodes.
Right.
Yep.
Because the first one episode could be bad, and so anyway, I got hooked. I'm like, wow, this is really good.
Yes.
Now, just like Harry Potter, I like the movies. I will never go read the books, nor will I go buy the comic books. I'm a video guy, so
Understood.
I like it, right? And the whole premise is like this family's father dies. They move into the family house, right? The Key house. No,
No,
yeah,
yeah.
the Key house, right? And they're all Keys. The last name is Key. But they have magical little keys that everybody starts finding all over the house because when you need the key the most, it starts talking to you. It starts whispering, right? So, like one key is the ghost key. So you put it in, you open the door up, you put it in the door, open the door up, you go walk to the door, and you become a ghost, and your body falls like you're dead, right? But you can only be on the key's property. Right, but there is a cemetery that you can go talk to the old Keys and blah blah blah, and there's a demon hole where if you get hit by these little, now they're bullets,
Yeah.
right, coming out and you turn into a demon, right?
Only while you're in that.
Depending
No,
on which,
you
that
can-
can happen anywhere.
that can
so.
happen
And then
anywhere,
you're
right?
walking off property
Right.
as a demon.
As a demon.
And there's
so
the keys are unique. Each one
yes,
does something
like
completely
now
different.
they have the Hercules key, which makes you really super strong. They have the Anywhere key. So if you can picture it in your mind and you put the key in, open the door, and that's where you're at.
Like a
So if I
teleport.
pictured England, because I know it really well, and open it, I could actually be
Yes.
there.
There's
And,
a- there's
you
the
gotta
But
head-
know
that's
a
only
door.
in
There's
that
the head key that
realm.
you actually insert into yourself, and it brings you inside. Now, in the comic, it was pretty cool because it actually opens up the head.
Yeah.
And there's little versions of you running around,
Right.
and you can actually, oh,
And
this
then
is a
there's
terrible
this-
memory. I'll just pluck
And
it
then
out.
in the season 2, I'm sorry, spoiler alert. One of the new teachers that came in for the I guess he's a dorm room person. He has a house that is the Key house. Well, the little kid, I can't think of his name, found the little key, a micro key that goes in there, opens it up, and then it turns the house on. If you take the roof of the house off, sorry if you haven't watched it, spoiler alert, you walk in and you can literally see if there's people walking around, you see them.
So imagine the Marauders map, but actual little people walking.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where can you watch this at?
Netflix.
Netflix. First
Yeah.
2 seasons
I-
are fully available.
I'll
so.
Yeah,
start
my
watching
sister's
it
already
tonight.
watched the second season, full season. I'm like, you didn't wait for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so, but the other day I was talking to Rob on Monday. I'm like, I'm going to go to hell. He goes, why? I said, because, we all like our characters. Well,
Yeah.
the demon girl, the blonde,
yeah.
Eden,
yeah.
right? And even on the first one, the guy behind the counter goes, "That's a great ass. She's got the best ass."
Yeah.
Right? It's like she's an ass model.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, oh my God, because these are all high schoolers.
Yeah, yeah. So.
You're like, oh God, I'm going to go to hell.
Yeah.
Well, come to find out, we Googled it. She's 26.
26,
years old, so
yeah,
I'm,
yeah.
She's just playing the
just play it.
she's
Nice.
just playing it. But other than that, it really is it's a very good movie. So-
Psychological horror
Yeah.
with a lot of it's got that
Right.
teen.
The teen angst is in it.
It's
and
not even the
teen
angst.
vibe.
It's more like just teen
It's-
adventure.
To me, it's
Yeah.
almost like a modern day, without wands,
Yeah.
Harry Potter.
It's Harry Potter meets Goonies.
Yes.
And,
yes. And there's
you know, and
always
it's
a bunch of adventures and
Yeah. And you don't know what's going to
Oh.
happen, but there's a real sense of danger. They're
Always.
never safe.
Yeah.
Never safe.
Okay, now I actually am interested in watching
you
it now.
need to go watch it.
Yeah. And
I'm
if
telling
you, and if you follow back to the
you
comics,
will like
you'll
it.
love it too.
You'll-
They
Yeah.
only did.
It'll be one of those things that you watch one and you want to binge it.
Yeah. It is.
That's where I'm. If it wasn't for the fact I had to be here, I probably would have went on to 6. So I'm just saying.
Yeah.
All right, you convinced me to watch it. And I'm definitely
my wife, I
interested.
was talking to my wife. She goes, "You'll never make it." I'm like, "I know. I'll be late. It is what it is." Because I
it's all
was
good.
supposed to leave at 3 and it didn't happen.
Yeah.
So I know where. Have we talked about number
No,
1?
we
on here?
skipped that for
Okay,
you.
It's for you. We saved
So
it for
I
you.
know okay. I am going to make people mad.
It's okay.
I know it, right?
I want to hear your
So,
take.
okay, so last week everybody talked about Dune, and I was over there playing Oculus, and I'm not sure if we're going to get to play Oculus tonight because I don't know if he got it fixed or not. So here's the thing. I like it, and I hate it at the exact same time.
Same.
Hey.
So here's the
Okay, so I couldn't watch it because, for whatever reason, the music is so damn loud. I turned the TV almost all the way up downstairs, and the music was so loud I had to turn it down. Then when he talked, I had to crank it all the way up, and I
Yeah,
still couldn't
whoever
hear
did-
anything.
The mix was
Whoever did
bad.
the audio really did not do
Well,
a
so
good
that
if you're watching
annoyed
it
me.
on the home systems, yes, because it was built for 5.1.
I had that, and it
And
doesn't, and
it
it's
didn't
still
help.
the
Okay.
same.
It annoyed me,
It's
so I
up.
turned it off.
I
The whole time.
had to balance
Especially
it
at the
a little
beginning.
bit. So
And
but I got
I'll
it
be-
working. So
And I'll admit, I've never watched the first Dune.
Oh,
That's
well.
probably why I wasn't
Okay.
excited to see this,
So-
because I don't know Dune.
Cinematically, it's pretty good.
it's beautiful.
Right? But and I think I said this to Rod the other day when I came in on Monday. The problem I have with it right now, so I love it for the cinematography and I love the actors in it. I think they did a good job.
Oh, yeah.
Putting the right actors in the
Cast.
right
I think
place.
everybody was cast
Yeah.
well.
But what I don't like about it is it's jumping all over the place, and they're bringing verbiage in too soon that you're not really supposed to know, and the problem is I don't know the verbiage, so within the first 15 to 20 minutes, you find out that he's potentially the
They,
right?
they rushed it. It
That
was like
should
hurry up
not-
and rush,
right.
and then it slowed down.
Yeah.
Now, in the original, they did test and blah, 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 but the words were never said.
Yeah, because you don't even learn that
He could
till
be
the end of the
one.
movie.
That's
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
They always hinted he could be the one. And I went back and watched Dune, the old Dune, just to make sure I'm right?
Yep.
And they don't mention that hackamacka-ragga-rag, whatever it is. What is it?
The Quetzal Haderach.
That's right. So
Yeah.
they
The
don't-
what?
They don't.
Yeah,
They don't
that's right.
mention
Sorry,
that until
sci-fi
he's
nerd.
on.
I know how to pronounce
He's
these
on
things.
planet, right?
Right.
So
And-
then and then Duncan doesn't die,
No,
but
which is
Duncan's
because,
dead.
Because
Creative license.
yeah.
No, Duncan doesn't die.
No,
Duncan.
Yeah, I agree
is
with
his,
you.
Is his man
oh
at
my
arms.
God.
It's his badass,
Right.
yeah.
I mean, so to me, it's like
it's
you really jumped all over
and
the
they
place.
also
and I don't like
my
that.
complaint about it is there's as a fan of the book and as a fan of the original movie, I actually like the
I
original
do
movie.
too.
I love
There's
the original.
one bit the new one needs, which is
Sting?
Well, besides
Because the
that,
guy that
We
got the
always
guy
need
that's
more
playing the
Sting.
there's
Sting
the
part
bit
sucks.
where there's the where in the book it explains why this whole situation is what it is. It's like the emperor rules the world, and he sees that the Atreides clan is going to be.
Sorry.
No, it's perfect.
Powerful.
The Atreides clan is going to be a potential rival for power.
Right.
But he needs to take them out. So he sets up this thing where there's going to be a rivalry between the Atreides clan and the Harkonnen clan, so he can keep his hands
Okay.
clean.
Now-
Now that's a line. Basically, they summarize that in a line in the original movie. This movie doesn't mention it at all.
No.
So suddenly it's like,
No.
oh, why is Atreides and Harkonnen on this planet?
Although
Who cares?
They do have Duke Leto and then Paul
Yeah.
saying, we're here because they want us to die.
Yeah,
But there's no backstory.
But there's no
There's no
backstory of that.
back-
And
no,
if it
there's
would just
not.
been that little bit,
Just a little bit.
just
No,
that little
the
bit of
other thing-
explanation to show the political
And
side of things.
So we don't have the true Sting character either.
no.
I think the skinny guy with the blacky
Yeah,
lips
they're
was supposed to be him, but he doesn't. He's
Yeah.
not supposed to die until the
In-
the end.
Yeah, even in the end
The
of the
confrontation.
second book. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, thanks for making it. We appreciate it. I love the character. I think everybody, and I love the fact that they referenced the grandfather.
Yes. Yeah.
They didn't really do that in the first,
first
one,
one, no.
but it's in the book.
Yeah.
Actually, was something I read. Right.
Yeah.
I don't remember a lot of it, but
It's been years since I read
but
it.
they
too.
did
I need
mention
to
the
refresh.
I love the thing where they were in the graveyard. Well, grandfather.
Yeah.
He was playing with bulls and blah
Yeah,
blah
yeah.
blah. And I'm like, okay, I get it. So
So-
and and then I don't remember the book or not, but it doesn't kill the tooth. Doesn't kill everybody in the room.
Right. Yep.
It's only supposed to get the floaty dude.
Yep.
Right. So will I watch Dune 2 when it comes out? Absolutely.
Of course.
I feel like
I wanna see the
I already
end.
know the ending.
Yeah, but
So
who knows?
Yeah,
maybe
Maybe
I don't
not.
need to. Well, now
may not.
I don't.
They may
know.
have changed
They
it.
may change, but
No.
it did well enough to warrant the sequel, so they've already greenlit. But we knew that was going in. I think everybody was signed for a two-picture deal.
Yes.
So it was pretty much a done deal.
Now, this can be me being
Unless it was a
picky.
major bomb, it would have.
So Chuck said we need more Sting.
we all need more Sting.
Sting
Yeah.
is odd.
I saw one of the best memes
Hold
was.
on. Maria was saying something.
okay.
I want to make sure that everybody gets
Understood.
heard.
Sorry.
That's the complaint online. That there's one person seems like they always overrule, and then the two meeks do not ever say anything. So we got to make sure that. So what is your being picky about?
All right, I'm being picky of how you pronounce the last name because in the original movie it was Harkonnen.
Yes.
In this movie it's Harkonnen, and that took me out of the movie when I first saw it.
I didn't pay attention to that. Because I was already thrown off like, oh, no, that's not supposed to be said yet. That's not supposed to be
Yeah.
said. What are you doing? You can't do that. And he wasn't supposed to be tested
Right,
like that.
right.
And,
Well, and then in the original movie you had all of the narrative going on where you heard what they were thinking.
Yes.
In this one you have Jessica outside saying things, but to Mike's point, I couldn't hear what she was saying.
yeah, the audio.
Because of the music.
sucked.
And so again, that took me out of the film. So
Here's what I had to do eventually, and this is how I fixed it. For now, is I had my TV on, but I synced my Bluetooth up through my Apple TV. So I got both. And in here, I heard the lows better, and then I didn't have to turn the fight scenes down, because in my house, if my TV is going, I will overrule everybody.
Oh, yeah.
because
It definitely does.
So, and it's loud,
Yeah.
right? So, but yeah, it's to me, I loved it and I hated it at the same time. And I went to bed, right? And Dylan was, "What's wrong?" I said, "I just can't believe they did that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't believe that they've got me wanting to watch the next one, but I hate them for what they've done
Yep.
because it's already messed up, in my
It's-
opinion."
Yeah, it's a solid. I think the first one has its flaws, and I think this one has its flaws.
Well, the
And
first one, look, some of the special effects were just hokey
Yes.
at
yeah,
best.
but for the time,
Oh, they were badass.
Yeah.
At the time, yeah.
I mean, the
That's what we
worms.
gotta remember.
I think they did the worms really well.
Yeah.
You know.
I think both versions.
Yeah.
had versions of that were
Right.
pretty good.
So anyway, okay, I'm off the Dune.
No,
thing
it's all right.
now.
Well, the one thing I thought was funny that came out of all this was there was a great meme, and it was Frodo or Bilbo holding out his sword, Sting, and it
Yeah,
was
right.
Sting. And I was like,
I did see- I've
it's from
seen
Dune,
that.
and I was like, all right, that one wins.
That's really,
that one wins
really
the
good.
internet.
Really
so.
good. So what else have we talked about
A
in
little
here that
more
I can-
Dune
we
thing.
talked about-
Something about Batista fanboying.
no, we didn't talk about that.
We didn't talk about that.
No,
No,
that's-
what is,
Oh yeah,
That was
I
another
put that
Dune thing.
article in there as a just in case we didn't get to all of our own topics, because I mean, have you guys touched on stuff that you put in?
I haven't. We
touched
haven't
about-
moved to space and tech yet, which is that's
We talked
all
about
my
Middle
stuff,
Earth.
so.
We talked about Boba Fett.
Well, let's go to
We didn't
space.
talk about
Boba
Boba
Fett?
Fett.
No, not yet. No.
Yeah.
Why are we going to talk about Boba Fett?
Because the trailer dropped.
Yeah, I know.
For the new show.
Do we have the trailer?
And he has eyebrows now.
and amongst other things. So it's basically
He's got a penis.
It looks it's Scarface done Star Wars.
Yeah.
He's building his galactic
Right.
underground.
He's trying
and-
to take over the Hut building.
Yeah, and there's some rivalries it seems that are teased and some badassness, and I'm all in.
I
Sold
like- okay,
already.
so
one trailer, I'm sold.
I like Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Right. But he's not a Mandalorian,
No,
and personally, I think Mando should kick his ass and take his Mandalorian.
that will
outfit.
probably
That could
happen in a
happen.
couple seasons.
Because the Mandalorian does make an appearance.
Apparently, yeah, they've
Yes.
apparently said that
Yeah.
officially they filmed a crossover.
But
so.
do we have the trailer?
I don't know. Do we, Rob?
We
Because I know
Rob
we're all,
said yes.
now I just screwed everything up being late. It's my fault. Blame it on me. But if you want to go ahead and play it since we're talking about it,
Yeah,
I'm
let's
okay
talk
with
about it. Let's play and we'll talk while we
because
play.
I'll watch it.
Because the trailer looks very Western, very gangstery, just like Mando.
Yeah.
Which is they've got the right feel.
Right.
They've got the right writers on this, so I'm excited for it. So,
Okay.
And as a kid who had the mail-away Boba Fett figure, I'm good with this.
Did you really?
So, yeah, I didn't get
Does
the
that
rocket
surprise
firing.
you?
I know the legendary
Go ahead
rocket
and play it
firing
around when you
one,
go.
so-
We'll put up a
It
double. We'll
yeah.
put up the triple box or whatever
Yeah,
it
here
is.
we go.
I do like, once again, Disney way to go.
Yep.
Actually, I should say John.
I am not a bounty hunter.
Because I love the look.
Yeah, like I said, that's
know?
for me. This is
I've heard otherwise.
I'm like, all right, I'm down. He's got the helmet,
Right.
and
But eventually, the
I
Mandalorian's
know
going
that
to
you sit
kick
on
his
the
ass and take his
throne
arm
of your
away from him
former
because
employer.
he's not a man. I don't even like.
Jabba ruled with fear.
oh yeah, the new
Yeah, I
intend to
love the
rule with
original
respect.
yeah,
where you don't take your helmet.
yeah, that's the classic.
That is just
This is
they
the
called
way.
it. They
You
called
were
it
all
the
once
old ways, but
captains
the old
under
ways are
Jabba the
shot.
Hutt.
But that's
I'm here to
classic
make a
old-
proposal that's mutually
And
beneficial.
so this is Jabba's.
Yeah, this is how he took over the palace. He's
Why
running
speak
the
of
business.
conflict?
These
trying
technical
to
Cooperation
operations
can make us all
owned,
rich.
owned by the spiders.
Water
I didn't know
pumps.
that. Oh, okay.
Killing you.
And so he's trying to
taking
reconsolidate the
what we
business. I like this. This looks pretty badass. And, anything with Ming-Na watch.
I love her.
Yeah.
She's
He has
awesome.
spoken some
She's
sense
another
to
one that has a
Jabba.
great ass.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh
just
yeah.
saying.
I'm glad she found something else after S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yep.
Yeah,
Please.
and she does it well.
I'm sorry, Michelle
Speak
Yeoh.
freely.
My bad.
I knew you thought. I knew.
I get them mixed up. Because they're in my fantasy.
Either one. Either one.
So, yeah, but,
Either
yeah,
one.
or both.
Good ass. Good.
Both. Why not both? But,
Good for Disney. They're doing a good job. You know what I'm saying? It's keeping us at bay
yeah.
for Mandalorian 3. So
Yep.
Whenever that gets done.
Next
When
year.
it gets done.
Hopefully.
It's filmed.
no,
no,
they're
the
not.
thing-
No, they're not.
They're not
They've not
done.
wrapped yet.
No, but they started filming it.
Yeah, they
because they showed the first
So
day of
hopefully
filming.
December next year is
Because
when
they've
it'll come
got
out.
they got
I don't know if I can. Wait
I don't
that
think it's
long.
going to be that long because
I
they were
hope-
saying it was
God, I
supposed to
hope not.
premiere
They're going to have to
sooner.
rush it.
Because they were saying it's like because what is it? It's Hawkeye is now doing 2 episodes so that
For
they
the
don't
first draft,
overlap
yeah.
Book of Boba Fett.
Mm-hmm.
So the finale of it hits the week before Book of Boba Fett.
Right.
Then Boba Fett wraps.
So has
and
Hawkeye
then-
started on?
No, it's going to start soon though
Next-
because
I think it's
a
only like
holiday
6
thing.
episodes.
At the end of
It's-
December.
Yeah, it starts soon. And then right after it is Boba, and then right after Boba
Is
is
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka, and then right after Ahsoka is the Andean, what is it, Cass, whatever, the guy from Rogue One.
Oh, yeah, he
I
gets
can't
his
remember.
show.
He gets his show, then Moon Knight, then She-Hulk.
Then,
And then-
whenever you
Man-
do
Oh,
it.
and Ms.
I don't know
Marvel
how
comes
you've
before
got that
all
whole
that.
calendar
so
in your head.
It's
He
such
does.
a Disney calendar.
It's amazing how I keep telling people how do you remember
Yeah,
this?
Well, it's just
Exactly.
going to be Star Wars and Marvel nonstop
For the next year.
because that's their cash cows. They've got that pretty much locked in till.
Yeah, but the fact that you can remember the order
well,
of
the fact that I want to
releases.
see them all, yes,
Oh, that's-
Disney
that's-
has me by the short curlies. 'cause
So
I'm
okay, so
watch
we're
them
gonna
all.
leave Disney for a little bit.
All right.
Now I put these 2 in, and I didn't put them in for the trailers. I put them in. Oh my God, you've got to. I apologize. I put them in because Star Trek is really making a huge comeback.
Huge
and
comeback.
Everything they're doing is just now. Again, I'm probably going to make people mad because I'm a huge Trekkie, right? So they came out with Discovery, knocked it out of the park. Whether you like Picard
Took a
or not,
season or 2, but yeah.
Picard knocked it out of the park, right? Then you got fun with Lower Decks.
Yes.
Loved Lower Decks. Think
Great
it's
show.
absolutely hilarious.
Best Star Trek
right?
show they've made since Deep
Right,
Space
and
Nine.
now you get Prodigy. And if you've not watched it, it
So,
is absolutely
Do you give Star
phenomenal.
Trek credit now since Star Wars did it before them? Have any animated shows?
I used to make fun of the Star Wars. Like, what are you watching cartoons for? Why do you got to make cartoons? Because you don't have the budget to make a real movie and blah blah blah. Okay, but Star Trek had cartoons back in the day.
Yeah.
It's
Did it
not
too?
the first time that anybody. Actually, Star Trek did it
But
first.
now them doing more adult geared ones like Lower Decks.
Well, Lower Decks is still kind of
it's still kinda
like all
kiddie
aboard.
stuff.
There's some
Yeah.
kid jokes, but there's some sex jokes in it too.
There
so.
is. I thought our light went off back here in the back. What's up?
What did you do?
I don't know.
Poltergeist.
I'm.
Followed us from
God, I
the
hope
Stringer
so.
house.
Probably.
But I tell you what. So
Hi, guys.
Prodigy. I know Rod's got a picture of all these. Yeah.
Janeway's back.
As a hologram.
Yeah.
So, and it kind of reminds me of the Doctor in Star.
And Voyager.
Yeah, Voyager.
Yeah.
So is it the
you
same
get a- you
actress
get a-
doing a voice?
Yep.
Yeah, it actually is Janeway. So which is kind of cool, right? And Prodigy is first I started watching. I'm like,
It's definitely meant for kids, where Lower Decks is not.
yeah. But it kept us Trekkies.
Yeah, it's got enough
It kept
Trek
us
stuff.
into it because, like you think the big rock thing is a big giant. It's a kid.
Yeah.
And the engineer guy is a kid, and the girl next to Janeway, she is. So they all start off in this prison planet, and I think they're mining dilithium crystals.
Yes.
Right. And next thing you know, they find Prodigy. The ship is down inside the caverns, and they've never seen dilithium crystals that big or that amount. So it kind of, and then they find this broken ship. Well, they've got to fix it. So everybody you see on there is the main characters.
That's a crew.
And they escape and this is all in the first one. I'm just telling you,
it's
they
great.
escaped. So I can't wait to see the second one. But
It was
it's-
very good.
I loved it.
Yeah,
I'm like,
If you told me a year ago that I think this would be one of the ones I would be most excited about, I would have laughed at you. And
Yep.
it's been a blast. I enjoyed it. It's keeping me with my Paramount Plus subscription.
It is.
Because
It
Evil's
is.
over,
Right.
and I was going to cancel as soon as
Yep,
Evil was
yep,
over.
yep.
And Star Trek Lower Decks was over. I'm like, oh, I don't care about the new Picard. This Prodigy looks stupid.
I liked it.
And I liked it. It was way better than I expected.
Yeah,
so.
it's really, really good. So,
I'm willing to
way
give
to go.
Picard a second
I don't
shot,
know
too,
say to
so.
whether to go say way to go Star Trek or way to go Paramount.
Paramount, because they've got the right people
Yeah.
to do the right things. so.
They've done well. They've done well. So,
Yeah.
hey, did you guys get a chance to talk about the
Yep.
Boondocks 3?
Yeah, we talked about that
That's
earlier.
going to be awesome.
That looks good.
So I guess now it's time to go to space and tech.
Tech, yes. This one, we got it now. Very nice.
That's very nice.
That's very nice.
Very
Very
nice.
nice.
So
And,
I guess you put this in with NASA.
I had to put this one in because this was important. Bill Nelson, the head of NASA, the chief operating officer
Which
of
who
NASA.
used to be a congressman? Senator.
Senator.
He now has officially gone on the record and said UFOs may have some other original place than Earth.
May have or do have?
No, he says
Or
he
does have.
suggests that they are not.
Ah.
He
So
suggested.
he's still not 100%.
Not saying on the record 100%. This is, the way it is, but this is as close as we're going to get, I think, from a
so-
NASA official.
I'm waiting for the day where they all hit that age of, they turn senile and go, yeah, there are UFOs and they're from outer space. It's
I don't know.
good,
I
man.
just watched the last season of American Horror Story, and the first half was all vampires,
Yes.
and then the second half was all World War.
Yes.
Eisenhower
Yep.
and the aliens making a treaty,
Yep.
and it was incredible.
Yes.
I'm like, I wanted more of that stuff in the past. I didn't care about the present stuff, but
Why don't they just come out and say, okay?
Because
we,
it'll
we've been
panic.
talking
Do
about
you
this
think so
since
now?
the
I don't see
Roswell.
now. I don't think it will. I think people now be like, oh,
People won't care anymore.
who
I
cares?
think for a lot of people it'll cause panic.
No.
They're not open. There are a lot of people who aren't open to it. They look at the stuff that we are into and watching and talking about, and they think it's just, it's a waste of time, complete fantasy.
I don't know. I have to disagree with you. The guys at Hoovy, even those guys are like, yeah, there could be UFOs, and
I think
No.
that's what it's been building.
I think panic will happen when one actually shows up.
that's when I think
That's when panic will happen. But if that government just says, yeah, they're out there,
If
Nobody
we
will
get a
really
Mars
care.
Attacks moment, yeah, we're in trouble. But
Independence
Or the
Day.
bee, you know.
yeah.
We're your friends.
Yeah. No, it just
No.
Tour.
No, you're not.
it definitely it was to me, as a kid, growing up and never, UFOs you're insane for reading, Chariots of the Gods and stuff
Right.
like that, and it's like, and now, it's sneaking to find those books in the school library that they shouldn't be there, and all that, and then, all that, and now as here I am 50 and the stuff's in the news, and they're,
Right.
and the head of NASA is admitting
Oh, and you have more and
Yeah.
more government officials coming out and saying
when
that.
The
former
Air Force
presidents
puts out
are
stuff.
on television shows, talk shows, and somebody says, "Hey, what do you know about UFOs?" and he goes, "Well, I'm not allowed to say." And
can't
it's like,
tell,
"Oh,
yeah.
so that's a yes."
That is a yes. If you
Yeah.
if you can't talk about it, that's a yes.
Yeah, exactly.
If you went out, looked into it, ain't nothing there.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. Blah blah blah. Okay, that's fine.
No, just shows there's a lot of layers there protecting it still, and
Big
it's gonna be
onion.
years before we can.
Big onions.
Yep.
Right.
So
All right. So speaking of outer space, right? I think this is kind of funny.
Yeah, this next one was great.
Now this Rob put in.
Yeah.
And we talked about this on Tech Shamans, right? So it's called the Jetson One launch. So it's a big ass drone
yeah,
that you get to drive.
yep,
And they've actually already sold some.
yeah. It is the flying car,
Which is really kind of cool, He goes, he told me, he goes, hey, we can finally drone race. I mean,
Yeah.
like
a real drone
like a
race,
pod
the
racer?
proper way.
Pod racer, yeah.
Pod racing, yes.
I'm like, okay.
now that's what I call pod racing.
I personally think that if you screw up, you're just going to get shredded.
Oh man,
Yeah.
yeah. Because look at this.
I mean, and it's
this
60,
thing can move too.
63 miles an hour.
Yeah.
You only got a 20-minute ride.
Yep.
I think it's
'Cause
20
Yeah,
minutes.
because the battery doesn't last long.
Yeah,
But
so-
that'll be improved in future versions.
Sure.
But I mean,
Let
why?
Tesla get hold of it. They'll put a better
Oh
battery in
yes,
it.
and other people do more. I love we're no longer earthbound. This is great.
Yeah, I want to know. Does it fold up like the Jetsons spaceship?
Yeah, the
Yes.
briefcase.
And
Come
it's
on.
only and it's actually there's tech specs and we had it on the
I just realized if I
those
wave,
fold in.
yeah, if I wave, your hand's just gonna get sliced right off there. You're gonna be Candyman.
It's gonna hurt.
Don't say that 5 times.
Yeah.
Candyman.
Did you see? Did you see what
Candyman,
the
Candyman.
whole controversy with
Beetlejuice.
what was it? Wheel of Fortune. They put Candyman on 4 times. That was
Oh,
one of the
yes.
solutions. And if you say it 5 times,
they kinda got in trouble for
Oh,
that,
they got in
too.
a lot of trouble because he said no. The answer is yeah, and he says it 5 times, and they're like ah, and I'm like, dude, it's a movie. Come
It's
on.
a movie.
Yeah, but see how much movies influence?
Oh
Yes.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So
People were
it does look cool. I think that
It's heavy, from what I heard, just heavier than they
needs-
expected.
Yeah,
so they've got to redesign it.
You could only handle a 210-pound person.
Yep.
That is the max. So,
Yeah.
Mike, you're out.
Yep. I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out by
Actually, I'm out.
30 pounds. So I'm
By like
I'm
5
down
pounds.
to 240, but it's taking a while.
I'm up
so.
to 215. So,
But
I'm
yeah,
out. Can't do
yeah,
it.
I love it. Safety is our
it's-
number one
it is
priority.
cool.
But there's
Nicely.
blades inches from your hands.
Yeah, look how close it is. That's what I'm saying. A bird strike.
Yep.
A bird strike right there could literally send a blade into you.
Yep.
No thanks.
Yep. So it looks cool.
Yeah.
I'm impressed by it.
I don't know if I want to fly in a giant drone yet.
And I would just, as long
Okay,
as I can
it's-
listen to the Airwolf theme while I'm doing it, I'm good.
yeah.
So yeah,
As much as I'm making fun of it, I would get it into it in a heartbeat.
in a second.
Yeah.
In a second.
I have to
Hell yeah.
lose some time. I have to go poop.
Yep. Yep.
I'd be okay.
Grapefruit diet for about a week.
That's
You're
it.
good.
I'm good. I'm really good.
Yep.
I'm really, really good. So,
I thought that was cool as heck.
so now we're going to go to other news.
Around the net.
I have no gaming news this week, really.
No, well, there was
And there
very
we go.
little.
Yeah, it wasn't nothing to really talk
Hold
about.
on. There's,
Oh yeah, this
We
is
have a
plague. So we
thing.
can't talk now during this.
no, those actually got audio and everything. News from the internet. The
Wow.
internet. The internet. The internet.
So, Black Friday's coming around.
Yes.
We only got a few more weeks, and there's stuff already for some good sales coming up. We got the
Nah.
PlayStation, PS5 gifts.
Good luck with
With
that.
the
Holiday
supply
gift.
chain
luck.
issues.
So yeah,
and
that's the
everything.
thing. Sony's like, here's a whole gift thing. We still can't get PS5.
Okay,
Yes.
so Dylan was telling us, and I should have left him on here and just let him do the show and not stop yawning. Dylan said something about a Walmart employee leaked
Secret stockpile.
that they
Yeah.
had them.
Yeah.
Sony
I've seen the
found
videos
out.
about that.
Well, what about the ones we gave it to you last year, and then that didn't sell that? And so I guess Walmart's in a little bit of trouble because there's some that's actually sitting out there.
I know. I want to say last Friday, GameStop put them up on the website, and they were gone within minutes.
Yeah, that's well. We used to get, as a former GameStop manager, we would get our allocations for Black Friday, and then we were told to
like a
hold
month
them-
early.
Well, not even a month, like a couple days early.
See, mine still got
we
them.
would know
Oh.
like a month
Yeah.
early, but then it wouldn't be till like a couple days early when we would get
We
them.
had to keep 'em locked
and
up
you had
and
to keep 'em
count
locked
it
up, and
every
then
day.
9 times out of 10, it was half.
Yeah.
What they told us we were getting, and
Oh,
it was
really?
like, yeah, it was,
Oh,
and that was
man.
because Sony.
That's crazy.
Now, what's
Sony
funny
and
is-
Nintendo are Japanese for shortage. And limited supply.
So,
you know,
Your GameStop was across the street from the one I worked at.
Yeah.
My GameStop had a thing of we would get extra systems. And
You know,
so
you
I
were
would
That's
getting
get
their
his.
supply.
No,
I would get the deliveries, and it says you're only supposed to have 3 boxes of Xboxes, and I got 10. I'm like,
Yeah, you were getting
Yeah,
You're the
marketing.
there's
one.
supply.
yeah,
You're the
we,
one.
We kept them.
yeah,
I
no,
wasn't
that was always
complaining.
the thing, though, is if you did get the extras, sell them like crazy.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
you would never.
It's all about
not be able
profit.
to-
But
I
but
just,
the whole point with the hardware is they want attach rate because they make nothing on the hardware. Our
Yeah.
cost for a $500
Oh, yeah.
PlayStation, I assume their cost is around $490.
So, yeah,
and then
that's
after
the big
shipping
thing.
Well, that's like
and paying
iPhones.
somebody to pay for it, to sell it, you've lost money. But
GameStop
you
for
sell
holidays
some
did the whole
games,
bundle.
That's going to do okay. But if you sell a controller and you sell a few other things that you make your real money on,
That's why
where
they push pre-owned games because
Yeah,
that's where they get all
that's
the
where
money.
They make the real money. But that's why it was all you'll see the bundle packs. You
Yeah,
won't ever
we-
see just a system for
I
sale.
watched Dylan and Rob on this on their phone. They're just waiting. They're just waiting. They're ready to hit that thing, and then they actually put one up on one of the computers, and hit it, and it freaked out.
Yep.
I thought these two had somehow some magical way.
Got one.
They wrote a software or something on the in some code to make it just constantly refresh until it hit. No, the website literally freaked out
Yeah.
and went down.
Yep.
I believe
Crash.
it.
So we're going to probably talk about that on the Tech Shamans.
Tech Shamans,
That'll
yeah.
be our tech fail.
I
of
wish
the
it
week.
more would come out because everybody
And
wants
people
one.
want them.
Well, they're all sitting out in the San Francisco Bay
yeah, apparently.
or San Diego Bay.
So
They
now
might
what's
make their
cool
way
is-
to here. We've started offloading some ships.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Tampa.
but-
I saw the other day.
Florida,
when
not
Texas is
Sony
off-
and not
off-
Nintendo.
No, it's all stuff from.
No, I know, but I'm
Taiwan.
just
Europe.
saying.
Yeah,
That's all
it's-
Europe stuff,
I don't know.
so.
I see. I got into
We
a
get
fight
Europe and
with
South
them.
America,
I
so.
got into a tiff with one of the other hosts from other shows
Oh.
about everybody's blaming the container, and I'm like, no. The fact is we've never bought the amount of goods
That we are now.
that we are now. And even if they could offload those,
The
fast
stores
enough,
don't have stock for them.
well, there's not enough truck.
There's no truck drivers.
It's
The
not
infrastructure.
So here's the thing: it's not the fact that we have a shortage of drivers. No. We don't have enough new drivers to handle the
yeah.
new load. So we've ordered and we've bought in record
Because
amounts.
we're
We've
all
never done
home
it.
now.
Right.
People who haven't ever ordered anything in their
And
lives
people
are
got
ordering
free
stuff now.
money.
And well, that helped too. Yeah.
When you get free money, what do?
you
Spend it.
Right.
You don't
Instead
save
of,
it.
Instead of saving it and paying your rent
No.
or paying your electric bill or paying,
No.
how about that concept, right?
No.
But no, we go and buy a PlayStation 5
Yep.
or a Switch. Someone in the back.
Or downloadable content.
Or Steam.
I don't know who would have bought a Switch
Or
recently.
an Oculus.
yeah.
You know?
Or
All
screenwriting
right, so
software.
guilty because when I got the free money, I bought a Switch.
Yep.
See?
That's yeah.
And you
our-
should have paid your rent.
My rent was always paid.
I know it was. I can't.
And at the
Can't
time,
argue that.
actually,
Can't argue
I was
that.
all caught up on everything too. of
Until-
loans until the car decided. Yeah. We don't talk about that. But at the time, everything was paid and caught up. It was responsible. I could buy it at that time.
Absolutely. Oh, so look what we got.
Oh yeah, look at that from Spooky Empire.
So Mark brought this back for us for Spooky Empire. Well, I'm just gonna. I gotta get you your money too.
yeah, no, it's all good.
No, it's not
It's all good.
I
It's
gotta
Christmas.
get that. This
Christmas.
is awesome.
It's Rick from
13X Studios.
I love Rick. He's awesome.
He has made a career out of customizing
You know,
Jason
and,
masks.
and we kind of remember when he
He started this just
when-
5 years ago.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah. I mean, we've
he
got
literally
some
was at a
sitting up
Spooky
there,
Empire.
which
He
you
saw a
can't
couple
see.
people. He saw him and he didn't like what he saw. He
Right, made
customized
his
one,
own.
and then Spooky Empire inspired him.
How was Spooky?
It was fantastic. It was probably one of their best years they've ever done.
Really?
I was so impressed. The writers' track had a bit of a stumbling block just because COVID. A lot of writers didn't want to come. But the guest was the only real block there was the only
Again,
Robert Englund.
that was not Spooky's
And again, it wasn't
fault.
Spooky's fault, but that screwed up. It made a
Right.
No
They-
Freddie?
well.
No.
Freddie was there, but the problem was they had a bit where everybody showed up with their VIP passes, and they all brought like 10 pops. We were only allowed to sign 2 things.
So people kept
But
going
people kept going back in
lane.
line and
Gotcha.
going
Which
in
is
line, and
crazy.
because of that, the regular people never got a chance to see Robert.
That
Englund
waited
till-
12 hours.
till Sunday when they finally.
I'm happy
shut
I
all
met
those
him like
VIPs
6
down.
years ago, and I had
The
no
fake
line.
VIPs down.
So did you? So you didn't do Horror Nights, Halloween Horror Nights?
No, we did. We did one night, and it was a lot of fun.
Oh,
Had a
really?
I enjoyed it. It was crowded, but
Yeah. So you went on a weekend.
I went on a weekday, so I got
So
smart.
we will only go on Wednesday nights or Sunday nights.
Those
we
are the
will
only nights to go. Never
and
go
then
on
we
a
get the
Friday,
Fast
Saturday.
Pass, right?
Yep.
But we had the whole, other than the show, we had everything done in 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it's if you can.
But I wasn't. I didn't like it.
It was. I'll be honest.
It was good.
Is
I
it
was
because of the
sold because of
plexiglass?
growth. I was sold because of growth. That house, Wicked Growth, was
Yeah.
awesome.
We liked
And
the
then
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice was pretty good,
Yeah,
and I liked
and Hill House.
the Case Files. I thought Case Files was actually a
Oh, the last
surprising.
one, yeah.
was a surprise hit house
Right.
for me.
Yeah, it was. When you first walk in, you see the guy talking, and he's in his
The
library,
detective
and I'm like,
stuff. Yeah.
"Oh, this is going to be boring." Here's what gave it. Okay,
Sir Henry's got one more week. So if you
Yes.
still want your Halloween goodness,
That'd be a good
Sir
one.
Henry's this week. You can still get tickets, and for Friday, Saturday this weekend.
Okay.
And then I'm going up to Netherworld on
Oh,
Saturday
nice.
for the King of all Halloween.
Right.
That's
So-
up in Atlanta. Definitely worth your trip.
Right. So the one thing that really that ruined it for me is once you got your brain trained to see there's plexi,
Yes.
or there's a clear shower curtain,
Then you know there's a ghost.
jump scare.
Yeah. That is.
I challenge Universal to scare me. It's only happened one time, and it was a pure jump scare, and it was in the House of Jack, where with that very last room, when there was like 30 or 40 or 50 mannequins of Jack, you didn't know which one was
Yep.
him. So you were like, and that's how they got me. That's the only.
Hey, Stringer, one scare got me, and it's been years since I've been got. So
Really?
A kid got me. He was hiding in a black room, and he was wearing a black cloak, and he was turned against the wall. And I just hit some strobes, and so I was a little disoriented. He turned around, and got me. I was
Oh,
impressed. I was like,
wow.
it just shows you.
How was
you can have the
Stringer?
best.
I
it was
mean,
fantastic,
we only
yeah.
got 15
seconds, but it was great, and definitely doing it again next year. And I highly recommend everybody come. So,
Awesome. So, hey, thanks for watching. Sorry I was late. I apologize. It's
been a good show.
You know,
We had
we're
fun.
growing, and we're growing. Orlando and St. Pete now here. Everybody, see you next week.
Have a good
Bye-bye.
week.